Interviews with business owners and veteran executives who share their wisdom and expertise to help you de-stress, free up time, and make more money. Profits of IT. Welcome back to the Profits of IT. I am Jim Punzenberger, your host and the creator of the Managed Prospecting System. If you're looking to generate leads and appointments through hyper-personalized outreach without cold calling, spamming, or ad spend, check out managedprospectingsystem.com. I'm excited to have with me today Michael Hruska, the Chief Customer Success Officer at Allen Interactive. Michael, why don't you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit more about your company?
Sounds great, Jim. Thanks for having me. I'll confess, I'm a geek. Like many, I'm fascinated with technology. I unfortunately or fortunately grew up reading encyclopedias and loving to research how technology has changed through time, and also trying to understand forecasting where it's going. I spent 4 years at the National Institute of Standards and Technology, NIST. They have the meter and the second. I mean, NIST is a wonderful place, especially when you don't run out of questions. So spent a number of years there with my brother, and we grew up in an entrepreneurial family and founded a company in 2004. We grew it to 40 some people, and merged with Allen Interactions about 2 years ago. Allen Interactions has been in business for nearly 30 years, providing strategic and boutique digital solutions for learning and training and human capital. And so across our portfolio, we might help someone with an onboarding program, we might help with leadership programs, but we also build software and build products and integrate systems and do some really strategic and transformational consulting around change. And change is the world that we now live in, isn't it?
Yes, the world is constantly changing. So what's something interesting about yourself outside of work?
As I said, I'm a bit of a geek. I love music, and I
Uh-huh.
love magic, and I
Music and
also and I
magic.
also and I also love food, and I really like to study these things, and experiment with them. I think that the resounding sort of overlay for everything that I do is I love design. I think that design is such an important thing, and that we often start to solve a problem before we understand it. So, in the food space, my wife and I have a food media play called Two Gastronauts, 2G astronauts.com. I've been playing music and writing since I was a kid. I actually took a break from college to tour for a while, which was fantastic. And, I still play and write and collaborate. But I also really love magic, because the design of magic and what you consider, or what some people might consider illusion, is a
Uh-huh.
very interesting process. And there's a lot of interesting thinking. And I've been sort of studying that for a whole bunch of years, and then thinking about how to apply that to business and to change and thoughtful technology design. Remember the Arthur C. Clarke quote: any sufficiently advanced technology is nearly indistinguishable from magic. So I like that. It resonates with me, and I try to live that too.
So is magic actually an illusion, or is magic there actually is magic?
Well, magic, the form that I study is an illusion, but I think, and I'm sure that you've all experienced it, there's some kind of good magic that happens in the world. You think about someone and then they call you. I'm sure that's happened to many
Yes,
people along the way. Yeah.
got it. So what would you say is your superpower when it comes to business, and how can others learn from that and gain from that and apply it in their own lives and their businesses?
Well, I would say that the sort of my number one overlay is thoughtful reduction. Technology and human systems have such a crazy amount of complexity, and when we think about building technology, we tend to think about maybe building too much sometimes, and we also have a trap, right? We got to build the MVP. Well, to make something minimal and keep making it minimal often removes its viability, which becomes a challenge, because then you make something that doesn't really do all that much, but you made an MVP in some way. So that process of thoughtful reduction is like super critical. I think the other thing that kind of sits in the background is words help us look the same direction. They don't help us see the same thing. So I use design thinking and have been a design thinking practitioner for years to help people to not just look the same way, but see the same thing and then go through the process of thoughtful reduction. So you can build realistic roadmaps and build things that really delight customers at every step of the way.
Got it. So if I want to apply this, say I'm totally new at MVP, how would I go about learning more about it and applying it in, I guess, my own business and such, my own applications,
I think,
if I have my own software?
yeah, absolutely. I think a great starting point is Eric Ries's book, Lean Startup. Um, and also to think to consider that, many of us come from an engineering background, and when someone says build a car, the first thing we think about is it's got to move, we got to make wheels, we got to connect the wheels together, and then we start going down the rabbit hole. But if I take that and I try to stick that in front of a customer in a customer development cycle, they're not going to be all that excited about two wheels connected to an axle. They can't really ride that. But if we think about form and function, what does a car do? It moves you from point A to B. Okay, well, what do I need? I need wheels and somewhere to put a person. Okay, let's make a skateboard. Now I give that to you, Jim, and I observe you. And what I notice is that you've got a worn right shoe from trucking along, and you got a scuffed left knee because balance is a problem. So now what problem do I solve for the customer? I think the scuffed left knee is a little bit much. So we're going to take a stick and we're going to put it on the front. And we're going to take care of the balance problem. Now the next problem, we got to get rid of that scuffed shoe. So now we're going to build you a bicycle. Now you want to go faster, so we build you a motorcycle. These things are much easier to build. We can get them in front of customers and get feedback cycles for customer development much faster.
Got it. Any other tips related to this?
There is a great person in ed tech named Tim Cook from Pittsburgh, and he has a quote, and I saw it in his TEDx talk, and I called him and said, can I steal your quote, not from you, but and put it on a big poster in my office? And so it's in our offices when you walk in. It says, because technology has both the capacity to create and destroy, we must compose for it a great purpose. Invention is only half of the future. And so the number one operative word there for me is purpose. And when thinking about things in terms of thoughtful reduction and lean thinking and MVPs, it's really defining, what are we doing? Why are we doing it? What will be the impact of it? And really considering purpose before we do all the good work to turn that into some engineering specification or design spec and build the thing.
Got it. Anything else you should know about this?
I would say the world is changing uber fast. The change of rate of velocity is acceleration. The change of rate, the derivative of acceleration is the jerk. We're living in the jerk right now. And what we have as far as technology professionals, as far as knowledge, skills, and abilities, and what companies need, we're just kind of beginning what I think is a renaissance of situating technology. Sitting in the background also, we have ubiquitous connectivity of our cell phones, and we have mobile computing, really, because our phones, besides doing all the other things they do, they still make phone calls too. And AI, machine learning, the intersection of all these things is going to create a new sort of opportunity landscape. And I think that we're just at the precipice of that.
Got it. So Allen Industries, 30-second elevator pitch. Who's the ideal client for you guys, and why should they do business with you?
Yeah, at Allen Interactions, we have helped people from Fortune 500s to startups to nonprofits to government. Generally, people come to us with problems like, I want to help develop my people better. I want to onboard people better. I need technology that doesn't exist exactly and for our unique business, for our unique process, or I have something I built and it's been working for years and it just won't scale with our business. I need this thing to be rebuilt and grown up. It could be mobile, it could be augmented reality, virtual reality. We do a ton of of those emerging modalities, and we develop software systems that support top 10 internet traffic sites in the world and some of the largest Microsoft Azure infrastructure. QA automation, CI/CD development. Basically, if it has to do with helping people learn, or it has to do with engineering anything digital, from embedded systems to system integration, or if it has to do with helping an organization think about how to move from point A to an unknown point B and find that, or get from point A to what they believe a point B is fast.
Cool. Any closing remarks before we wrap up here?
I love what you're doing, and I think that the more we can find smart ways to connect and share information, the smarter that we're all going to be together.
Makes a lot of sense. So until next time on the Profits of IT, I am Jim Punzenberger, your host and the creator of the Managed Prospecting System. If you're looking to generate leads and appointments through hyper-personalized outreach without cold calling or ad spend, check out managedprospectingsystem.com. Bye for now.
Thank you for tuning in to the Profits of IT. Please smash that like button, subscribe, and share.